Hey guys, welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel to hang with me a little bit. And guys, got a really good video for y'all today. I'm going to show you one of my favorite lures. It's been one of my favorite lures in the early spring and late winter over the past 50 years. I've got this bait here. This one I'm going to show you. It's a 50-year-old bait. You're going to be able to get some too. I've got a couple different places I can send you to get this specific bait. But guys, when you get the right set of circumstances, specifically like in February and March, you can catch so many 3 to 4 pound bass on this lure, just like I did back in the late 70s. So we're going to go over that in today's video. And guys, talking about a bait that catches a ton of fish, that's a new bait, it's not 50 years old. I'd like to invite everybody to please check out my Blaukat Finesse Throwback jig made by Cumberland Pro Lures. Living rubber frog hair skirt, hand tied. It's just the finest little finesse jig on the market today, along with my throwback jig. Got both jigs here available through Cumberland Pro Lures. I'll put both of these jigs in my tackle warehouse link in the description of the video here if you guys would like to order a few. But a little finesse jig is deadly, guys, in February and March, so you might want to pick up a few of those and really appreciate that. Okay, guys, I did a video on this a couple years ago on the specific bait, but I want to do it again because we're getting up into that period of the year where this bait shines. And when you get into the situations I'm going to talk about, nobody throws this thing anymore, and it is still an incredible fish catcher. And it's the old Rebel Deep We Are in this specific color pattern right here. Guys, this was one of the first naturalized color patterns that came out in the late 70s here. But look at this bait right here, guys. This bait right here is over 45 years old. Rebel Deep We Are here. They don't have these at Tackle Warehouse. The only place that you're going to be able to find the ones like this that are this old and this color is just go to eBay and just type in Rebel Deep We Are, and there's quite a few of them available on eBay if you want to check that out. But guys, this thing right here, I'm going to tell you the story about how I got on this thing, but you see the lip, so old, the lip's starting to get yellow on it here. Okay, let me tell you the story here. A lot of you guys, regulars, may have heard this, but it's worth repeating because I'm getting ready to tell you what to look for here. My mom and dad, you probably heard me talking about it before, they had a trailer house on Grand Lake, Oklahoma for over 30 years. And mom and dad's trailer house, it was right over there in the Sailboat Bridge area. Excuse me, that's where I grew up fishing, you know, for over 30 years. And there was the place where the little mom and pop resort is, where their trailer house was in this cove close to Sailboat Bridge. And we had a friend that had a house on the lake right there. He had a little cabin on the lake and he had a boat dock. So our trailer was up on top of the hill in the little, resort area. And our friend had the little cabin on the lake there with the boat dock. So I would always go down and fish off the dock when I was in high school. And, I'd go down there and crappie fish and, cast off the dock for bass. So anyway, it was March down there. It was the first week in March. I remember this vividly. The water temperature was probably 50 degrees. And I'm on the dock down there fishing. Excuse me, probably about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning. And here comes this boat working down the bank, in between the docks where, I'm fishing there. And he gets up to the dock where I'm fishing and we start talking. And he goes, well, you catching anything? And I said, no, it's been pretty slow. I've caught a couple crappie, but I'm trying to catch a bass and I hadn't caught one. And I said, you doing any good? He goes, yeah, I probably caught 30 this morning. I go, 30? You caught 30 bass this morning? He goes, yeah, right here in the cove. I'm like, are you kidding me? So anyway, he goes, yeah, hop in the boat here and I'll show you what I'm doing. So he went right past our dock there and I jumped off of our dock into his boat. I didn't know this guy from anything. And guys, this is what he pulled out right here. Old Rebel Deep We Are. And he just started making short casts down this rocky bank in between the boat docks. Nothing special about it. It was just a 45-degree angle bank in a cove. Guys, he probably caught 10 bass on this Rebel Deep We Are right in front of me there. And I couldn't believe it. It's like I've never seen a lure that caught so many fish under this condition. So needless to say, I went down and I bought as many of these as I could find at Southtown Sporting Goods in Joplin, Missouri there. And I had my little 16-foot leaking flat bottom with my old 1967 horse, nine horse motor, my little 12-volt trolling motor. And I started fishing this Rebel Deep We Are all around my stomping grounds there at Grand and just whacked them on it for 2 or 3 years, every time it came up in March. And ever since then, guys, I've been able to take it around the country. And when I get in the right situation, guys, they will hammer this thing better than a wiggle wart, better than a rock crawler, better than any lure that I have ever seen in the situation I'm going to describe here. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about what you want to look for. Number one, there's a water temperature window for this weir to work. And that water temperature is from about 50 to 57 degrees in the springtime of the year. I haven't caught crap on it any other time of the year. 50 to 57 degrees. And then you've got to have water visibility between like 12 to 18 inches, about a foot to a foot and a half water visibility in correlation with that water temperature, 50 to 57 degrees, usually in February, March. If you have the combination of those, where you got that water temperature in that zone and you've got the water clarity in that zone, it puts those fish in the perfect zone for this deep weir. Because this deep weir, I usually fish it on 10 to 12 pound test fluorocarbon. Back then we used mono, we didn't have fluorocarbon. But on 10 or 12 pound test line, it's gonna run down probably, 6 or 8 feet, depending upon, how far your cast is. But the key on this bait is not getting it down to 6 or 8 feet, it's fishing it shallow, because those big fish in the pre-spawn, they get shallow, they get in less than 5 foot of water. So I try to target the 3 to 5 foot zone with the deep weir on those rocky banks. It doesn't come through wood very good, it's a rock bait. So I've caught them good on riprap banks, on channel banks, 45-degree angle banks, just fishing just a slow medium stop and go retrieve with it. Guys, this is freaking, I cannot tell you how many bass that I've caught in this thing. It's, like I said, it'll catch more than a wiggle wart or a rock crawler or any other bait during those situations. But anyway, guys, good luck finding one. I don't even know, you might even look for under the Rebel website. They might still make this thing, I'm not sure, but I've got I've got probably a dozen of these things that I did get off eBay myself. And this is the color right here. If you can find one with this color, especially if it has a red belly on it. Another little thing that's helped out that I figured out, I didn't do it to this one yet, but sometimes I'll take a blue magic marker and see the crawdad stripes there. I'll trace the crawdad stripes with blue, and that combination of that blue and that orange and that crawdad pattern, it's deadly on those early spring bass. So anyway, guys, hope it helps you guys catch some good fish, and we'll check later. See you.